These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there. But I can only see the black ones. I can't see any white ones, you see. We've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. You know, they do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece. It's pretty amazing.
I'll admit it makes me uncomfortable to play that, but because we're 5 months out from an election that's too close for comfort, people need to see him. Nobody says, nobody believes, know what he says to people he wants to vote for him. Because it's amazing that those words come out of the mouth of someone who was one of our two choices, to be president of the United States in 2024. And of course, there's always more. Stop me if you heard someone accused of being a racist before saying this. He said he has many black friends. That's his defense when asked how he responds to black voters or others who call him a racist. This is what he told Semaphore in an interview out today. Quote, "I have so many black friends that if I were a racist, they wouldn't be my friends. They would know better than anybody in FAST." We're back with the Rev and Andrew. Rev, I'll ask you two questions. One, how do we process this? And two, how do we cover this?
I think that we cover it by the record. I think that we should not bite the bait of having to prove Donald Trump is a racist. I think clearly I've known Donald Trump. I've marched on him, and then he tried to be friendly. He's come to my convention. I believe he's a racist, but that's not what we have to prove. Just look at his record. He is always race-baited. He started with the Central Park five innocent young men in New York. He called for the death penalty. Well, has he ever called for the death penalty for anybody else? His political career started by saying a black man was not a real American.
Birtherism.
He was born in Kenya. Birtherism. Has he questioned even Joe Biden's birthplace? I mean, everything about race, he's always race-baited against blacks. So all you got to do is look at his record. And I've said to any of those that support him, show me where he was on the right side of any race issue. We forget. This is the man that said when we saw the march in Charlottesville, where they were saying things to protect a Confederate statue, Robert E. Lee, and saying anti-Semitic things. He said they're firing people on both sides. He was the president, sitting in the White House, president, during George Floyd, probably the biggest race case of our time. What did he say about George Floyd? Oh, I'm sorry. He had them clear the protesters from in front of the church, held up a Bible, and condemned the protesters. Never even tried to say anything about police reform. So if the record is, Sotomayor said it about the other kid, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. I believe he's a racist, but you don't have to believe that. Just believe you're against one that's always on the wrong side of racial policies and racial legislation. And I don't believe everybody that votes for him is a racist, but I believe every racist votes for Donald Trump.
What do you make of their very deliberate, very public strategy to talk about really running up Trump's numbers amid black voters in 24?
I think the strategy is that he wants to, in a tight election, try to just get some more black votes or dissuade blacks from voting, and that he feels is enough to get him over the hump, which is why I think that the Biden people have to really invest in a counter argument, because you can't take that for granted. And, you know, now he's going to a black church in Detroit. He went to the Bronx. And if you notice the crowd in the Bronx, he imported a crowd. He could even import a lot of blacks, and only blacks he put on stage was two indicted rappers. I mean, which, you know, he probably should get lessons from them on how to handle that. But for him to say, when we've spent generations telling our kids, this is Father's Day Sunday, to do the right thing, follow the law, do what is right, for him to say that we are in some way synonymous with mugshots, he didn't say some blacks. He said the black population identified with it, because that's who we are, criminals, thugs. That's what he thinks of us. For him to say that, imagine if Barack Obama had said that about whites. Imagine if anybody had said that about any other race, but he gets away with it in the name
Why?
of he has swagger. I think he gets away with it because we're not calling it straight out what it is. This is not even dog whistling. This is straight out saying, I'm playing to racism. And Donald Trump has done that when he got away with birtherism, where people wouldn't call it what it was, because all that was saying he's not one of us. When he got away with that, he takes the next step, he takes the next step. One thing you've seen in his trials, Nicole, when we've seen it in civil court now, he's gone through 2 or 3 there, and Andrew's going through the criminal trial. You've not seen one black business person come into court and accuse him of giving them a deal. Not one. How do you be in business 40 years in New York, which is 2/3 black and Latino, and everybody you did business with was white?
It's hard.
Unless you are clearly not one that wants to deal with diversity and how you do your business.
It's an important conversation. We got to keep an eye on it. Thank you.